Hey guys. Okay. So last week, what we talked about is how to deal with a price objection. And I proposed a two-step approach, really simple, right? It avoids getting defensive. It avoids trying to tell the person, change their mind right away, which they're not prepared to do. They'll probably dig their heels in. So the approach involved what I call a softening statement. And if you didn't see the video, just go back and watch it. A softening statement that really just kind of validates and empathizes with their objection. You don't not agreeing with them, not per se, but you're just you're showing empathy for their concern. The second one is referencing other patients who've had similar concerns, but the outcome they've had. We're trying to change the mindset of the patient from objecting to something to being more open-minded and trying to put themselves maybe in the position of other patients who've had the similar concern, but what was the outcome they had? Are they glad that they decided to go ahead and invest the additional money into that product or service? So I mentioned after that, when you're done with that, something that you should do, something that really helps determine whether or not the patient is a hard no. That's okay. We can move on. We don't waste a lot of time on somebody who's not going to invest into this product or service, or whether or not they are still interested or they're still on board. So here's the thing you need to do after you take those two steps. Are you ready? Here's what you need to do. Nothing. Don't say a word. When it comes to communication, we really undervalue the power of silence. And I'll tell you why. There's something called dynamic silence. I think a lot of times as doctors, if we're trying to get somebody to do something, your opticians, when they're trying to sell glasses on the other side, in that role, we feel like we always need to be the one talking and convincing and trying to convince somebody to do something. What's really powerful is dynamic silence. And I'll tell you why. If I were to make a statement to you, if I were to ask you a question, silence starts getting really awkward. Somebody's going to break. Somebody's going to talk. So you going quiet and allowing for that moment of just no talking, the patient is likely to open up. You'll get them to talk back. And in the case of price objections, when you do that, they're going to let you know. We want to get them talking. Is this a definite no? Or are they going to respond with something that indicates they're still in the game, they're still interested? What would be a very positive response from the patient is if they start asking you questions. That's a very positive thing that lets you know that they're still interested. So dealing with, when I talk about a two-step approach to a price objection, the idea is not to immediately turn them from a no into a yes. It's just to, one, identify if they are really interested. Is this an objection that can be overcome? Or is it something that we can advance the conversation? That's really the goal here, is trying to advance the conversation, move past the objection and be able to have a dialogue to find out if this is something that they would indeed be interested in. So the next thing, we're going to talk about this next week, is my goal here. I think one of the most positive things of this, if we can get the patient discussing their reasons. And I think that's something we mistakenly do a lot, is we push our reasons onto the patient. But ideally, we'd like to get the patient discussing and eliciting their reasons for wanting to do something. And we'll tackle that one in the next video.